So I have listed out 10 questions. So we will be just I'll be asking those 10 questions, and at the end of this session, like I'll explain all those 10 questions also. Okay. So moving to first question. What is CyberArk telemetry? And it's huge. Like, have you heard about the telemetry?
No.
Okay, so because this is a new feature, like which is like released recently, like it's been I think 1 or 2 years before it was released, or I think 1 year. So this is one of the new feature. Okay, we'll discuss at the end. So we'll move to next question. If anyone want to answer, you can just unmute and you can answer those questions. Okay, moving to next. How you can migrate the Vault operating system 2012 to Windows 16 or 19. Let's say you have installed the Vault machine onto the 2012 server, but I think if you are aware of, Microsoft is going to remove 2012. So every company is just migrating to 2016 or 2019. 2019 is the latest Windows server. So any idea how you can migrate the complete, because on your Vault server you have all the data, and like it's not like that you can just copy paste and to you can just paste onto your new server.
First, we have to get the Windows 2016 systems servers ready, and we have to take the backup from the old systems using the replicator,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then we have to install the CyberArk in the 2016 servers, and we have to restore the same data in the newly installed environment.
Okay, how you can restore that data?
Um, I think we can use the restore full vault command, or we can use the dr
Yeah, yeah, go ahead. Correct, correct, you
or we
are.
can use the dr to replicate the data back to the vault.
Yep, correct. Okay, so moving to next question. Okay, so what do you mean by a privileged account?
Okay. A privileged account is it has a lot of more access than the normal identity or the normal account.
Mhm.
Let me take an example. Like in Linux, you have root account, which has full control on the system. With that, you can manage anything. And like in DBA, you can say SA account, and Windows you have the admin accounts, administrator accounts.
Yep,
These have the highly elevated access. We can call that as a privileged account. That
yep,
is where CyberArk comes into the picture.
yep, correct. Okay, moving to our next question. Okay, so if the dual control policy is enabled for a platform and you want to give the permission to a user, so he doesn't need the approval. He can just directly access that account. So what permission you need to grant him so that he don't require any approval? You all understand the question, or should I elaborate more?
Yes, I understood the question. I think we have to give access and account management permissions.
Uh, Not the access account, because in the access you will have the list, use, and retrieve permissions.
And retrieve. And in account management, we have
CPM
other.
related thing and unlock and all.
Hmm.
Uh, any idea, Gautam or Shravya?
I don't know, but I'm not so sure. Just I'm guessing. Maybe
Okay.
we can create new save. Under that, we can create one account and we can give the same permission as the other user so that these both can have the same permissions and try to manage the system.
Or we can do one thing. We can enable object level access.
That is for the more granular access. And if you are enabling the object level that access control, so it will be just you will get two permission. One will be use and retrieve, and though that is more granular. That is not related to this.
Or we can do one thing. We can add this user to both a requester and approver.
Okay, how you can add that?
Yeah, basically we add two groups, right? One is the requester ID group. Uh, one is for the read access for the users
Okay,
AD group. We can add that particular user to both AD group in the Active Directory, or we can give directly access to that particular user by individual access, not through the group AD group.
okay. So the permission, like if you remember the permission, yeah, you are absolutely correct. Giving the all, you can have the either you can have AD groups or you can directly add those. But okay, we'll discuss at the end.
Yeah, sure.
So moving to next. So have you heard about the heads interval?
Yes. Actually, if you give the head start interval 5, it will reset the password before 5 days it expires.
Yep, correct. Okay, moving to next. How you can integrate the SIM with Vault. SIM means like your event management tool. It's an event management tool like your Splunk, if you have heard about Splunk, QRadar, ArcSight, etc. And this SIM tool is generally used for like we can send the logs because there are heavy logs gets generated. So it's hard to manage the logs. So this is using the SIM tool you can manage those logs, those events. So how you can integrate the CyberArk Vault with the SIM tool? Any tool, it can be Splunk, QRadar, or ArcSight.
Maybe through CPM plugins.
Yeah,
Mm,
we have to make changes in the dbpam.ini file,
yep.
and we have to give that same file information in the dbpam.ini file. We basically we get some sample files by changing the files with the same IP address and port number. We can change that and we can add that particular file path in the dbpam.ini file, and after that we have to restart the private server service.
Yep. Correct. And any changes required on the SIM side?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay.
I
Okay.
think it doesn't require any changes.
Okay. So moving to our next question. So what do you understand by the eliminating the hard-coded credentials?
In some services or in some
Hello?
yeah
Your voice, I think it's,
are you able to hear me now clearly?
yes, I can hear you. Yes, please go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, in some services or REST API scripts, some admins give the static password to retrieve the other privileged account passwords. Yeah, if you use the static password, if anyone have access to that hard coded password, he will get access to that privileged accounts which that hard coded account have access to the privileged accounts in the CyberArk.
Uh, Not exactly, but yeah, partially correct. Okay.
And
Yes,
and
please, Gautam.
and also maybe it is not answered, but just I'm giving my inputs.
Okay.
Like maybe so if you are hard coding the passwords, if it
Mhm.
is related to the password credentials, right? So there is no point in using the CyberArk there for that specific service.
Yep.
Or otherwise, even though if it is in place, definitely your application will, if because of any policy, if the password is rotated, you will not get the new password, and because of that, there is a chance your service will be down.
Yep. But that is related to service accounts and all. Okay. Okay. So moving to our next question. Okay. So let's say you are changing the password of your account and you are getting this error, incorrect username or password. Like any idea how you can fix that issue or what could be the issue?
Yeah, we may give the incorrect name or incorrect username or password, or if there is no password, in that case as well we get that error. We can fix by adding the reconcile account, or we can if it is the password issue, it can be fixed by the reconcile account if we add that account. If it is the if it is the any spelling mistakes in the username, we have to correct that. We have to make sure that we are giving the correct spelling for the username.
Yep, correct. Okay, moving
The error code
to,
for this is 1326 winas is equal
yeah,
to
winners equal to 1326.
1326.
Yep. Because in the interview sometimes they ask the code also, but it's not required if you know the logic, if you know the backend thing, because it's hard to remember each and every code. There are lots of.
Actually, I came across such issue. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay. So while connecting to the target server using the PSM, so your remote desktop connection, you get an error like you are not something like I don't remember the exact error, remote desktop connection error or something. It will give a code also. So what could be the reasons like the what could be the root cause or issue?
If the same account is used by the other user, or it can be logged at the particular time,
Let's say
or sometimes.
you are using an account ABC account you added to CyberArk
Okay.
and you are connecting to the target application, target server, any server, and then you are getting this error, remote desktop connection error. And it's like when you click on the connect button, then when you just download that RDP file will be downloaded. When you will open that file again, you need to click on the connect. So at that point of time, it's giving that error. It's not going to like it is not loading that screen also. In the starting itself, it's giving that error. Any idea on
uh,
this?
if the password is not in sync with target system and vault password, or if it is locked by the some other user, or sometimes due to if NLA authentication is enabled in the PSM server, we will not be able to make the session in target server.
Yep. But in the NLA, let's say NLA is enabled, network level authentication. So in that case, you will get an error like your NLA is enabled. Please configure the setting. Something you will get, but it's just giving the remote desktop connection error. You are not authorized to connect to this machine remotely.
If I think if approvals are required, we may get that error until approver approves that request.
Okay. Okay. Uh, you want to add anything, Gautam or Sabya?
No, there
I
is a
think
chance
if
of.
the target server is offline, then we might get this error as well.
Yep, that could be also one of the reason.
and
If the required
overcome
ports are not
troubleshoot
opened,
issues.
Yep. Now you are coming, Naveen.
if
Yes.
required ports are not opening, like 140,
What is the
14,
port? You
445, 139, 135 for the Windows servers. For Linux servers 22, and for database Oracle database
to
1521.
one. Yep. But this is not related to CPM. I am asking in the context of PSM.
Oh, okay. For the PSM 3389 for Windows servers.
Yep. Okay. Moving to the next question. Okay. So let's say due to the network issue, you see the both production and DR vault are up and running. The private arc server is up on both the sides, on primary also and DR also. So how you will make the DR so that it you can how you can make your DR to the original state? What changes you will make on the DR so that it is again it will start replication from production to DR.
Yeah, we have to make changes in the PADR.ini file. We have to change the and and failover mode is equal to no. We have to keep that failover mode is equal to no, and we have to delete the last two lines,
But
last timestamp and binary number
okay,
parameter.
okay. Uh,
And we
but
have to stop the private arc server service, and we have to start the DR service.
Yep. But last two lines it's not required to delete. Rest is totally fine. It's not required like I'll
Okay.
explain when we will discuss every question. Okay.
Yeah, if you want full replication from the primary vault to DR vault, we have to delete the two lines.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Okay. Moving to our next question. Okay, oh, that's all I have. Okay, so let me go to the first question. Okay, so what is CyberArk telemetry and its use? So, have you heard about the export EVD, export vault data utility? So that is also related for the reporting and all. So similarly, like CyberArk telemetry, like it's a new feature introduced by CyberArk. I think recent years only they have introduced. So in telemetry, you can see the reports like related to CPM compliance and like your license related thing. You need to log into your community portal, your CyberArk community portal, and there you will get the one tab telemetry option, and there you just need to add an environment. Your environment should be added there, so that you need to log into the CyberArk community portal. Then only you can go to that telemetry dashboard, and you can see the status of your license, your CPMs like related to compliance, if what accounts are compliant and non-compliant. So that's the one of the feature like CyberArk recently introduced. And let's say if you are a privileged cloud user. Privileged cloud user means you are using the CyberArk SaaS. So if you know about the CyberArk SaaS, so Vault and PVA is managed by the CyberArk team only. We will not be having access to those servers. Those servers will remain with CyberArk only. So in that case also, if you are a privileged cloud user, CyberArk will configure this for you. You because Vault and PVA is there with the CyberArk team only, CyberArk support only, professional services. So, and there is no private client. So how you can see the license capacity report? Because in PVA that feature is not there. In private client only, you can log into private client, and there you can just see the license capacity report, and you can find out number of license for your to install the CPM, PSM, EPV user, and other license. You can see in that report only. So to resolve that issue, like they just brought this CyberArk telemetry, you need to log into CyberArk community portal and go to this option. Then you can just see the your license capacity and your CPM related thing. Now they are introducing more reporting function in this telemetry. So that's like all about the telemetry and its usage. Okay. Yes, any question?
Yeah, do we have any specific component to configure this or?
No, it's not required because this will be with CyberArk only. You just need to log into that community portal, and there you need to just add there is an option add environment, and you can reach out to CyberArk support. They will configure for you.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. How you can migrate the Vault OS 2012 to 16 or 19? As Naren said, like he was absolutely correct. So first of all, we need to build the servers. Let's say you want to migrate from 2012 to Windows 16. So you need to build a new Windows 16 server. You need to install the Vault. You need to install the Vault using the same set of keys like which you used to install your 2012, like earlier you have installed. So same set of keys, your operator cd, everything is will be should be same, otherwise you will not be able to decrypt that data. So same set of keys are required on your Windows 2016. You need to install the Vault, then you need to install the dr setup. So after installing the DR setup, you can use the DR service and you can start the replication from your OS 2012 to the new 16, new Vault server. So once that replication is completed, you can test the connection. You can use your PWA, PSM, and you can just point the components to the new Vault. And you can test the connection. If the connection is working fine, then you can just remove, you can delete, or you can decommission the operating system 2012. And you can point all the components to the new Vault. So that's how we just migrate from uh, old operating system to the newer. It can whether you are migrating to 16 or 19. 19 is the latest. Okay. Okay. So you were correct, like absolutely correct, Gautam. Like you gave this answer. What do you mean by privilege account? So like privilege account, and that is like CyberArk all about managing those privilege accounts. Because if you are aware of, I think we discussed this before also. If you are aware of the Uber breach, so they were using the privilege account in their script, and that was in a plain text. And someone just got into the system, got that password, and then he got the access to their PAM tool. And from there, he just got the access and got the all the critical passwords. So that's why like CyberArk is the leading PAM tool, and it does provide the security to secure all the privileged accounts. So the privileged accounts can be different type. It can be embedded your services, your applications, your operating system, database, website. So there can be different types of privileged accounts will be there. So privilege means like it's having the privilege permission, the elevated access to an application. It can be multiple application or single application or connecting to a database. So those are considered as a privileged account. Okay, so this related to this dual control policy. So what is the dual control policy first? So in the dual control policy, if let's say there are one manager and another is the user. So user is having user access and manager is having all the access on to that account. So what user will do, he will log into CyberArk, and when he will try to connect or when he will try to copy or show the password, he will get a form. He need to fill out that form and he need to just provide the just in time access, like for he needs the access for 1 day, 2 day or 3 days. So that request will be sent to the manager or the lead, like who is having all the access. And then once he approves the request, manager or lead approves the request, then only that user will be able to use that account. So if a user, let's say if user don't need that approval, so what permission he should have? So there is a permission, if you remember, workflow, and there is a permission access safe without any confirmation. So that permission that particular user must have. So if still the dual control is enabled, still he will don't need that approval because he's having that access. So there is a permission access safe without any confirmation. So that's the permission. Okay. Okay, so what is the heads interval as like you were correct on this. So heads interval is generally by default the value is 5 days. So let's say you are having a password policy of 90 days and in 90 days your password will expire. So so this heads interval is there in a platform, in every platform, and you can also change. You can also make it 1 or 2 or any number of days you want. So by default, it's 5 days. So if you are having the password policy for 90 days, so what CPM will do, it will just change the password on 85th day, like before, 5 days before the expiration of that password. So that's the heads interval meaning. You can also alter, like you can change it to 1 day, 2 day, or 3 days. How to integrate the SIM with Vault? So it's like it was totally the like correct answer you gave, Narendra. So it's related to the dbpalm.ini file only. Always remember, if you want to integrate anything with the Vault, that configuration must be done in the dbpalm.ini file only. So in the dbpalm.ini file, you need to just provide there is a sample, like in the db, there is a sample file. In that you will get the syntax. So that syntax you can copy paste to the dbpalm.ini file, and you can make the changes like the IP address, the port number, and the codes, which codes you want to send, which log file you want to send to the your Splunk or SIM tool. And there's you can also integrate multiple SIM tool also. It's not required like you can integrate one. Let's say if you want to integrate 2 or 3, so in the same file you can just provide the IP address. Let's say in the IP address just put a comma. If you want to integrate 2 SIM tool, just put the IP address of both the SIM tool, like let's say A IP address and comma B IP address. And in the port also, which ports are being used. If it's let's say the default port is 514. If they are using 514, then just put a comma, 514 comma 514. So you need to fill out the two information in the same syntax. Understood, or any question on this, guys? Okay. So yes, please go ahead.
That's clear. Nothing from mine.
Okay, okay, okay. So moving to our okay, so what do you understand by the eliminating the hard-coded credential means? So hard-coded credential mean the password is in a plain text. So eliminating, because what generally developer do, so developer generally like he writes a script, and for the automation purpose he just like, because he developer is working on the scripting part only. So to run that script he needs some authentication, the username and password. So to save the time, what developer do, they just provide the password in their script in a plain text, like anyone can read that script. So that was happen in the Uber breach. So in the script itself the password was there in a plain text. So what that hacker do, they just got the into the system, and they just got that script, and in the script the password was in a plain text, username and password was in a plain text. So he just got the access, he just got the login username and password, so he logged into the PAM tool and just got the password of all the critical accounts. So eliminating means removing the hard coded, removing the plain text passwords from a script. It can be script, it can be your service or any database. So CyberArk has the component AIM, and in AIM you have the credential provider, central credential provider, application central credential provider, And then you have the Conjure also. Conjure is used for your cloud applications. So all these four components can just remove the hard-coded credentials. How they can remove it? You need to install the credential provider on your on any of the server. You can install on PWA or CPM, because for if you are using a Windows based. If you are using a Linux, you need to install on a Linux box. And after installing it, there is a command. So using that command, you can fetch the password. So that command you need to share with the developer team, so they will just use that command in their script. Instead of providing the username and password in a plain text, they will put that command in the script. So automatically when their script will be running, it will first connect to the CyberArk and it will fetch the password of that account, and then it will pass to that script, and automatically you will be connected to your database or any application you want to connect, and that password will be encrypted. So that's the main use case of the credential provider, or you can say the AIM, application identity manager, or AM, application access manager. It's all same. Okay, moving to next. Okay, so you were correct on this, like while changing the password. So issue can be, you are, let's say, while onboarding the account, you have provided the incorrect username, the spelling mistake or any typo, like, and the password is blank, or you have given a wrong password. So in that scenario, you will get such kind of error. So in that case, either you can use the reconcile account, which can just reset the password of that account, or you can just, if you, let's say if you are not having the reconcile account, so you can reach out to the respective team, you can ask them to reset the password, and then you can just update the current password, and then you can just try to verify or change the password of that account. Okay. And related to this also, remote desktop connection error. So remote means remote desktop. So to connect from one Windows to the another Windows, the user which you are using to connect, that should be part of the remote desktop users group on the target server. Then only you will be able to RDP to that server. So you always need to check that if that account is a part of the RDP group, port numbers are open or not, like the 3389, and like as the sometime you will get this issue when the server is offline or out of the domain, because your PSM is in domain. So sometimes the connection is allowed within the domain, so it's not able to connect to that machine. So these can be some issues when you get such kind of error. Okay. Okay, so due to network issue, so this was like it was absolutely correct. So if you are getting this error, so to change the DR to back to the original state, you can log into the DR Vault server. Just go to the padr.inf file, which is the main file of the DR Vault, and just make the changes, because when the private arc server is up on the DR side, automatically that failover mode will change to equal to yes. And if you will not change that value equal to no, you will not be able to restart your DR service. So that should be set to no. You can save that file, and then you can just shut down your private arc server and just restart the DR service. And about the removing the last two lines, so yes, you can remove those last two lines to generate the full replication, because those two lines have the timestamp till till then, like how DR Vault has replicated the data from production to DR. If you are removing the last two lines, it will generate a full replication. It will start replicating from beginning. Okay. Okay. Uh, that's it, guys. Any doubt you have or anything?
Need one doubt. How long it the migration process takes
Uh,
from designing to implementing?
So are you asking about the vault or for all the components?
for all the components.
Uh, Depend upon your environment. If you are having the number of servers, so it may take some time, or if you are having the less, like for 10 or 15, then it won't take some time, because main issue is, let's say you are upgrading, you are migrating to 16 or 19. So sometime you get some error. So to troubleshoot that error, or if you need to fix it, and then you need to test also. So because you cannot redirect your production directly to the new servers. So after testing only you can just and also, like after testing, successfully testing also, we what we do, we just shut down those servers, the old servers, for a month or so, because in, let's say, after a month you got some issue and you are not able to fix that. So in that case we have the old server, you can always switch on those servers again and you can use it. So this process, you can say, generally take 1 month or 2 months, or it can be depending upon your environment. Okay. Uh, any more questions, guys?
Will there be any issue if I can keep all the components in different Windows versions?
No, it's not any issue. You can have the 12, 16, or 19. But if you are aware of the Microsoft update, so they are, like, I think they will remove the Windows 12. So that's why you might see every company is migrating from 12 to 16 or 12 to 19 if they are using the 12 servers.
So basically, CyberArk, all the components does not have any dependency with the OS.
Yes, yes. But related to, if you are installing the 12, so you just need to apply some patches, not for the 16 or 19. And if, like, Microsoft is releasing some patch, yes, you need to apply to the OS, but it doesn't have that much, like, dependency apart from the patches you are applying.
Hi,
Uh,
I just have one question. So if we got an error like the network path not found, even if the server is pinging and the ports are opened, so what could be the other issues?
uh, uh, Network communication error, you mean to say?
Yeah, WinRC 53.
Um, I don't remember the exact code, but you can check the firewall communication also, because in the production we have the external firewall. So if the your connection is getting blocked in that external firewall, or is there, like, there is some policy on the target server which is not allowing that connection, or if it's related to PSM, so sometime, like, related to the CAL license also. If, let's say, you are not having the, but in that case you will get a different error. So it can be related to your firewall or some group policy which is not allowing that connection to that target server.
Okay.
Okay, so more questions, guys, we have, or we can wind up this.
Yeah, I have one more question. So you mentioned about the DR vault,
Yep,
right? Like the PADIR.inf. Please correct me if I'm wrong with that.
yep.
So is that file available only on the DR side or on the DC side also, the main master vault also?
Yes, it will be there on, because you need to, that is a service, that is a DR setup. You need to install on production also and DR side also, because let's say your DR is acting as a production now. So in your DR side, which is acting as a production, there will be new data will be there, because your users will be connecting to that vault. So in that case, how you will replicate that data to your production side, the original production? So for that also you need to use that DR service. So that's why it should be installed on both the side, both the machines, production and DR.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So do we have more questions, guys? Okay. So silence means no. So let's wind up this session. So thank you for joining this. I'll be uploading this video on this coming Sunday, so you can watch if you want to like see any questions if you want to refer. And most probably the coming Friday also I will schedule one more mock session. I will inform if there will be any mock session. Okay. So thank you guys for joining and have a good day. Thank you.
Will it be on the same link or?
No, no, I'll be sharing a new link. I'll share the new link. No worries.
Okay.
Okay. So thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye.